What's going on, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. Dan Taylor from danthepixarfan.com here once again, and today I'm excited to hang out with you all and open this complete set of 13 Toy Story 2 inspired Mattel Pixar Minis blind bags, which came out last year in 2020, but I actually never found them in stores. This series had a very limited run for some reason, and essentially only hit Dollar Tree stores here in the US. The series also released internationally as well in some countries, but regardless, I never spotted them in the wild in my area here in Connecticut, unfortunately. I have 3 Dollar Tree stores near me, and I checked all the time and none of them ever got them. I held out hope for so long thinking that they might hit like Five Below or some other stores as well, but that never happened. So long story short, I recently just ended up getting them super overpriced on eBay, unfortunately again. But hey, these were the last of Mattel's Toy Story minis I needed, and I couldn't pass up the chance to finally just get them and cross them off my list. And as you might know, if you've followed my blog for any amount of time or any of my social pages, I'm a die-hard Mattel Pixar Minis collector and have gotten essentially every release so far since 2016. This series here was a direct follow-up to the first 2020 Toy Story series, which was specifically inspired by the first film. The series is known as Andy's Toy Box series, which I did review on my blog, link above and below. And then this series here is inspired by Toy Story 2, of course, from the characters included to the fun Al's Toy Barn packaging with the street cones front and center from that iconic scene. And as I talked about in my canceled Toy Story Minis video, hit the card above to check that out, a third, fourth, and fifth series were also planned last year based on Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, and the Toy Story Toons, respectively, but they never ended up happening. Anyway, this series is, like usual, made up of brand new releases and repacks from previous series. I normally would have just gotten the ones that I needed if I had found them at the store, but because this was an eBay purchase, I kind of just had to get them all. So I'll just be opening all of them up today because why not? So the minis in this series are Silver Buzz Lightyear, which is the special edition figure this time, Woody playing a guitar, Bullseye, an alien, a Zerg bot, Slinky, Yodeling Jesse, Buzz Lightyear, Wheezy, Stinky Pete, Ham as Evil Dr. Porkchop, Sarge the Green Army Man, and Zerg with his ion blaster. Technically, I only needed the 5 new ones here, so all the rest will actually be duplicates for me. And like always with Mattel, there's a blind bag code there with a letter corresponding to which character is inside the bag, so I'll be sharing those along the way and in order for anyone who needs them. Okay, let's get into it. First up, we have code letter A here, and it's Bullseye. This is the same Bullseye who's been released a ton in the minis line over the years, so I won't linger very long on this one or any of the minis repacks that I already have. Next up is letter B, and it's Slinky. Again, this is another repack. He's been part of this collection for many years. This is the same Slinky that's been around for a long time now, but here he is just in case you're new to this line. Moving to letter C now, and it's a Pizza Planet alien. Again, another repack. There's nothing unique about this one, but I guess you can't have too many Toy Story aliens in your collection. This one here does have some paint defects in the eye though, so I'm glad this isn't the only one that I have. And letter D is finally a brand new character here, one of Zerg's robots seen during Toy Story 2's opening sequence. And this is a really fun one to have here in the minis line. There was a Toy Story Mattel Buddy Pack version of one of these released many years ago. R.I.P. Buddy Packs, I sure miss them. But this new minis version is even smaller and stylized a bit different. Oh, and don't worry, I know it's probably bothering you, but I did end up realizing his treads were facing the wrong way right out of the package, and then I went back and corrected things a bit later by turning the treads to face the correct way as seen here. And who do we have next year? Right on, it's another new one. This is letter E, by the way, and it's Singing Woody playing the guitar. This is such a cute new Woody variant with his silly singing posed mouth and lips there. I remember being so excited when I first saw this one revealed at Toy Fair last year, even though, yeah, it's just another Woody, but I just think it's a unique one to have and a creative idea on Mattel's part. Woody, though, is only ever seen singing and playing the guitar in Toy Story 2 in one of those Woody's Roundup TV show clips, so technically this should be more like a black and white version, but I honestly actually like the choice to do it in color here. Moving things right along to letter F, here's the back real quick just so you can see for yourself. We have the third new mini in a row here. It's the evil Emperor Zerg, and
watch out! He's got an ion blaster!
Oh yeah, he does. He's got his signature ion blaster this time, and this one just looks so cool, guys. The only other Zerg mini released up until this point was this one here without his blaster, so it's just really neat to finally have him in a fresh new pose. Next up is letter G, as you can see there, and it's now the 4th brand new mini in a row. It's Yodeling Jesse. This is another fun new take on a character we've already gotten, and it's actually the first new Jesse sculpt that's come out since the original one from clear back when this line began. Every release and variation of Jesse so far over the years, I'm talking the black and white version, the winking version, etc., they've all used that same original sculpt up until now. So yeah, this is really refreshing to see, and a creative idea from Mattel once again. This next one here already came open since it was a separate eBay purchase, but here is letter H, the last new one I needed here in this series. It's Silver Buzz Lightyear. Now, this is actually less silver than the packaging suggests, I'd say, and more of a black and white or pewter gray color scheme, but it's a cool one to have, continuing with this theme for the special edition minis. The series before this had a gray Woody, and the Toy Story 3 series would have had a gray Jessie if it had come out. The Toy Story 4 series was to have a gray Bo Peep, and the short series would have included a gray alien. Of course, you'll also notice that this is just the exact same regular Buzz sculpt from this set, just in new gray coloring. It honestly doesn't make as much sense as like a gray Woody or Jessie, since both those characters are actually seen as black and white characters in Toy Story 2, but it is what it is. Letter I is the next one here for those keeping track, and this one is Stinky Pete the Prospector, of course. Now, as I've talked about in a previous video, this Stinky Pete was delayed at one point years ago, and then finally surfaced, finally got produced and released last year for this series in 2020. However, he was also then released in this year's Pixar All-Star Rivals miniseries, literally the exact same figure as this one here, so I actually already got him as part of that series first. So anyway, yeah, this would have been a super exciting new one here if I hadn't already picked it up earlier this year. Now, it's a duplicate, but oh well. Okay, continuing on with Blind Bag J, and you know what? Honestly, the last few here are just more re-releases, so none of them I actually needed, but I'll still be giving you a quick look just in case you haven't seen these ones yet, as maybe you're new here to collecting this line. But yes, here we have Ham as Evil Dr. Porkchop. He's really, really cute, and this was initially released in 2017 as part of the original Toy Story Minis Series 3. Letter K is Sarge, the Green Army Man, of course, and he was also originally first available in 2017 in that same original Toy Story Minis Series 3. So yeah, this is another duplicate for me, but I guess you can't have enough of these though for some army building. Letter L is Wheezy, and again, Wheezy was also first available in that original Toy Story Series 3 Minis assortment back in 2017. It's another good one here though if you missed his initial release. It's really adorable. And for the last one here, Mattel actually skips letter M and goes straight to N. So yeah, this blind bag code is N here. And it's your pretty standard Buzz, nothing special. At the time of its release last year, this was technically a new variant of him, since this pose with both eyes open hadn't been done. He was winking in the sculpt's original release, but what happened here is that once again, this was released in this year's All-Star Rival series, so I got him then. So yet again, this is another duplicate for me. Alrighty, well I think that's just about it for this series, everyone. I really hope that you enjoyed my coverage and all the details, whether you're new here just jumping into this line, or you're a longtime collector like myself. And while this isn't the most diverse series here, since it's almost entirely made up of either previously released minis or new variants of characters we've already gotten, it's still a good selection, and it makes sense for what it is, which is basically trying to have the best selection of characters representing Toy Story 2. Go ahead and let me know which characters you would have included in this series if you were running the show. I'm just kind of curious, would you keep this lineup as is, or add or take away some? Anyone you feel is really missing here? I'm looking forward to your comments down below, and if you did enjoy this blind bag opening, please consider giving it a big thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more Pixar merch reviews just like this from my personal collection. Find me all over social media, and I will see you in my next video.